What's going on, everybody, and welcome. We're back. We're back. We've been away for some time.
Pop the confetti.
Welcome to the Work in Progress at Night podcast, where we've now moved it to Saturday nights. So Saturday nights at roughly 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, 6 p.m. Pacific. Those words.
Specific, specific times.
Yeah. And then again, then I'll post the audio version on Mondays at around 11 a.m. Eastern and 8 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah. So, okay. Important question of the night. What do you think of the group chat so far?
Yes, for those of you that do not know, which is literally everybody, I have created an Instagram account. Do I use it? No. I only use it to message people that I know. And right when Brent here found out that I created one, he's like, oh my God, I'm going to add you to my chat, which he's been begging to add me to for I don't know how long, like probably a few months now.
Yeah.
So it's definitely interesting, to say the least.
Oh, we haven't even scratched the surface yet.
I believe it. Just hearing some of you guys talk. I mean, I am joining in a couple things. Like we were talking about John Long. That's his name, right? The actor.
Jalen?
No, not Jalen. Not people in the chat. The actor who was in the horror movie.
Oh, Justin Long?
Justin, thank you. I knew it started with a J.
Justin Long in his weird horror movies.
And it's just like, I saw a meme and I shared it with the group, and the meme is correct. Anytime that you see him in any kind of horror movie, something bad is going to happen to him. We only showed two things. One was Jeepers Creepers,
right?
Which, if you haven't watched that movie, I would suggest it because it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers is pretty a lot. It's good for what it is. It
is.
It's good for what it is.
If you do sort of B horror movies, it's a good B horror movie.
Man.
And just spoilers for those that haven't watched Jeepers Creepers.
Hey! My rules on spoilers is the statutes of limitations on spoilers end a year, a year after the movie is released, even in theaters.
Oh, please. People still get pissed off because you tell them that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's
I don't give a shit.
So Justin Long is the main character in Jeepers Creepers. He actually survives until the very end, where his eyes get taken.
Yeah. That part always the first time I saw Jeepers Creepers, I think I was 13 or 14 years old, and maybe even a little younger. I don't know. When did that movie come out?
I have no clue. All I know is that I was in high school when I watched Jeepers Creepers 2.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I saw Jeepers Creepers long after it came out, so I probably saw it maybe when I was 13. Because it came out in 2001. And so I watched it probably maybe the following summer or maybe a couple years later for the first time. And it creepy endings have always bothered me. So that one has stuck with me. The ending of Jeepers Creepers has stuck with me.
Oh no, honestly, I like that. I like the twist endings. I think that's also why I'm such a big fan of Stephen King or R.L. Stein with Goosebumps is because
Mhm.
you always have to have that twist at the end, or it's not a true horror story. You know?
Uh-huh. I I will say that like yes, Stephen King is great, but like I will like and as much as like twist endings are fun, I will never watch The Mist ever again. I will never watch The Mist ever again.
Okay. There's a difference between a twist ending and a stupid ending. Okay, The Mist had a stupid ending. The
It's
whole
just
thing, like,
it's too bleak. It's too depressing. It's too like
yeah. I mean, I get the whole sentimentality, but you know what? If even if they would have like, all right, let me try and explain my thoughts here. If the guy would have shot, the people in the car,
mhm,
including the kid, which is the ending of The Mist for those of you that haven't watched it.
mhm,
Everybody basically dies except for the main character.
right.
Um, if he would have done that and then traveled just a little bit further, I feel would have been more impactful. But not like right when it happens, all of a sudden the army comes. It's like, okay, that was a little too quickly.
Mhm.
Like, give us time to sit with it. That would have made it even more deeper, I believe. It
That would
was
have made
still a
it even more
stupid ending, though.
that would have made it even bleaker. Have you ever seen
Exactly.
have you ever seen have you ever seen Storm of the Century?
I have not. I haven't even heard of that.
That was his stage play. That was a stage play. Um I think then it was a stage play first, then I think he converted it into a novel. Um that was kind of bleak as well. um I still think his best stuff I still think his best book was The Stand. Have you ever read The Stand?
I have. That is such a good book.
I love The Stand. And have you seen the miniseries, the one from like the early 90s?
Yes, I
Dude,
have.
so
I've seen
good.
that, and I have seen it.
And
And
you've seen what?
the miniseries It
Oh,
with
okay.
oh no, his name is going, and I was
Oh,
just talking about
you
him.
can't be missing that name. Why am I
Tim Curry. There we
That's
go.
it. Yes, there we go. Why did we
Ah,
forget that name?
I know. It's like I'm sitting here. It's like he. It's like I love him in everything he does. Rocky Horror, Fern Gully. Like, why am I all of a sudden like missing his name? He was also the best part in Home Alone too. Like the whole "I love you" part in Home Alone 2 is just always cracks me up. But yes, I did watch those miniseries growing up because, of
Mhm.
course, I as a kid I always watched Sci-Fi Channel whenever I was sick,
Uh-huh.
and those miniseries would constantly come up during those times. So it's just like, what else are you going to watch?
Have you watched the Shining miniseries?
Um, the one with Jack Nicholson.
No, no, no. That's Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, that's right. That's Stanley Kubrick's movie. I have seen bits and pieces of the miniseries because if I remember correctly, the miniseries goes more into the guy's character and his abuse and
So
his troubles.
so
Correct?
Stephen King apparently really dislikes Stanley Kubrick's movie.
Hmm.
Even though that's like the more iconic version of
Yeah.
like that movie's probably more iconic than the book itself at this point. Um, but no, Stephen King does not care for the Stanley Kubrick movie, but he much prefers the miniseries. I think he actually co-wrote the miniseries for The Shining. I think it was like 3 episodes or something. Let me see here. The
So I
Shining.
I do have a question about R.L. Stein to some degree.
Okay.
Like,
I probably
I
wouldn't
have
be able to answer it.
I know. It depends on like your knowledge on R.L. Stein movies, or not R.L. Stein movies. Stephen King movies. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed
Okay.
up now.
Okay.
Uh, This is with Stephen King.
Okay,
in Stephen
so not
King
R.L. Stein,
movies.
not R.L. Stein, but Stephen King.
Yes,
Okay,
not R.L. Stein, Stephen King.
Okay, got it. Okay.
There are movies that he has made and that he did the screenwritings for. And to a point, I'm wondering if he's literally making sort of B horror movies. Because
his books are almost B horror books to begin with. But they're like good. Like they're campy but good at the same time.
Exactly. And when I've seen like some, I mean, what was the movie where Stephen King basically comes on the screen and says, "I just want somebody to do Stephen King right." What movie was that on?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of which one it is. It's either. Oh my gosh! See, now I actually need to look it up.
I've only read like a few of his books. So it's hard for me to really like gauge what is good, but like having read The Stand and watched the miniseries is solid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had to significantly tone things down for television.
Of course.
The book is incredibly bleak throughout. I have of course read Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption, and of course watched that movie. That it's almost 1-to-1 in a lot of ways with The Shawshank Redemption. Did I read Glass Window, or was it, what was that movie called with Johnny Depp?
That one I can't help you with. Oh, and by the way, the
Rear Window, maybe.
The movie that Stephen King said that he wanted people to do Stephen King right was for Secret the movie Maximum Overdrive.
Okay.
And that one, I did watch Maximum Overdrive. And it's, I'm kind of sitting there, and as I'm watching it, as I'm older, and I'm just, enjoying the movie, first of all. But it seems ridiculous to a point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still don't understand if the cars or the vehicles were, taken over by aliens, or if they just came alive, or what.
Dude, I read Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher was a trip. Like they need to redo Dreamcatcher as a miniseries. They really should. But Dreamcatcher, now that's a good alien story right there. That was a good alien book right there.
Isn't Dreamcatcher the one with the shit weasels?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, that shit was messed up. Yeah. But like I really liked I loved some of the like imagery that Stephen King puts in your head. I love the idea of the main character having like how he sort of depicts his mind as like this big.
Oh yeah, the mind palace.
Yeah.
I mean that's I think that is a practice that some people use in order to organize their thoughts.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And you know what? If you play Alan Wake 2, there's a version of the Mind Place. Mm-hmm. But I loved Stephen King's visualization of it was really, really cool. And I also really liked, because the alien gets into the main character's brain through like telepathy or something. I forget. And so the main character hides away in a very special room that only he has access to. It was cool. Like I loved like how he did that. And honestly, like I felt like the movie's problematic. I mean, the thing is like Dreamcatcher is an 800-page book.
Right. That's what I was wondering, because I haven't read the book. I have seen the movie. As I said, like I know shit weasels.
The movie's only like 100 minutes long. Like,
Yeah.
like
And there were some things that, okay, first of all, like, I do have questions.
okay,
Like, the main character, right? He's basically trapped in his own mindscape, and he's fighting for control with the other alien kind of thing.
more or less, yeah.
Why does he have a limp in his mind?
That's a good question. Probably because like I don't know, like the mind and the body are very linked. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm sure
Yeah.
that even in his own mind, he was worried because of his limp that he couldn't get away from the alien.
Right.
I,
I mean, the
it's
other thing is like him
possible.
going and grabbing other files that pertain to the other person
Mhm.
and taking it into his secret room. That I don't have a problem with because that's like, shifting information in your brain from one end to another
Mhm.
kind of thing. Like, I understand that. But why do you have a limp inside your mind?
I don't
It's
know.
supposed to be your own mind kind of thing. Of
Mhm.
course, I'm mainly getting that from like Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that.
I will say that maybe they go into it in the book, but it's been like 20 years since I read the book. So, um, God, I'm getting old.
Well, Scooby Dooby Doo. We got some. What was it? We got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
That I don't know how I like them using Scooby Doo in the movie.
Oh, did they do that in the movie?
Oh yeah, no,
I thought we were referencing the conversation that we had earlier.
no, that was literally in the movie. Like that's what the
I'll have to rewatch it.
yeah, that's what the other alien was like always about. It's like Scooby Dooby Doo, we got stuff to
Oh
do.
yeah, the mentally challenged one.
Yes, the other alien.
Yeah, I forgot what his name was.
I cannot tell you either.
Yeah, I can't remember
Like
either.
only certain moments jump out at me with the movie, like using a gun as a phone while they're using their telepathy between his friends.
I don't remember that either. I need to
Oh yeah,
rewatch it. Like it's been
oh
like
yeah.
close to
It's
20 years since I've seen any like parts of that.
it's in there. Like the guy is trapped inside of his mind, trying to
Mhm.
keep the alien out. He uses a phone in his mind to telepathically communicate with his other friend because I guess all of them have telepathic abilities. And his other friend uses the gun that he's holding as a telephone.
I think do they all have an ability to communicate with each other? Was it or
I'm not sure. I do know one of the characters. He's able to read minds because he is a psychiatrist and he was trying to help another person, but he dove into his mind and made the person commit suicide. Because the guy
okay? I'm
that
gonna
he
have to
was,
rewatch the movie.
oh
I'm not
yeah,
remembering that. I'm
yeah,
not remembering that.
the guy that he was trying to help figured out that he was reading his mind because he knew things about him that he never told anybody. So it's like,
Mm.
and then he eventually commits suicide, which I guess is like happens right before they go to the cabin where the shit weasels attack.
Hmm. I'll have to rewatch it because I cannot confirm what it is that you're saying because I don't remember. But um,
Anyways, back to the twist. I love that in horror movies or in
oh, for
horror
sure.
books. And even in the Goosebumps movie with Jack Black, I love him portraying R.L. Stein and like talking to the class. It's like, okay, you have the setup, you have the plot, and you have the twist kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, thinking about it, that is one of the big things about horror stories is everything always looks good, and
Mm-hmm.
then something happens towards the end where you're like, oh shit. But yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
just my own rant on horrors,
Mhm.
horror novels.
So complete change of subject here. Complete change of subject. So as you are aware, I rewatched Digimon Adventure 1 and
Mm-hmm.
I'm now into Digimon Adventure 2. And as much as I love both of them, I love them both. Like, but like, man, Digimon Adventure 1 was perfect. Like, 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 don't get me wrong, Digimon Adventure 2 is great, but it's got nothing on 1. Like, I'm rewatching Digimon Adventure 2 right now. I'm into, and there's some really, really great parts, but I feel like there's stronger plot
Mhm.
in number 1, better characters in number 1. Um and all, like, the beautiful thing about number 1 is that all of the characters kind of go through their own sort of journey. Um and it's sort of in what, while also still sort of being a like villain of the week kind of show up until like Myotismon.
Right.
Myotismon is like when things really like kick off.
That's where it
Um,
becomes more of an arc. They're
yeah,
not being challenged by like a big bad in
like
every single episode, but it's where they're trying to go up against a certain evil. Like yes,
like
there was Devimon,
there was
but
Devimon, and Etomon, but even those felt like villain of the week kind of situations.
right.
Um, and then of course once you get into Myotismon Dark Masters, that's when there's like, okay, like like there's a plot moving forward here, and it's, it's really good. Don't get me wrong, Digimon Adventure 2 has some of that, but the issue that I'm having with Digimon Adventure 2 is, um hang on, did I say that right? Although Digimon Adventure 2 has like some plot going on, uh that it's more of a villain, it's more of a villain of the week kind of show.
Somebody's on end.
It's
Might have
just
a
a cat,
visitor.
I guarantee it. That's my new doggy.
He's a little puppy. Oh,
Hi,
look
Odin.
at the
What's going
little
on, buddy? What
face.
do you see? Did the cat find its way in? He shouldn't. Okay. Um
Yeah, I'm not talking
but
about you. There's another puppy.
but yeah, I don't know. Like, I know that once Ken officially joins the group, then things will start kicking off. But I'm still in I'm still in the Digimon Emperor plot
Mhm.
line. And
See,
go ahead.
I have a theory about that.
Okay.
Digimon Adventure or Digimon 1,
Mm-hmm.
that one was about the kids. And of course, you
Mm-hmm.
have Kairi who comes in later, but she
Mm-hmm.
was never necessarily evil. I believe Digimon Adventure 2, it gets good when it goes into what I like to call the sixth Ranger phase. Because in
Oh.
Power Rangers, you always have, a sixth ranger, and usually it
Mhm.
always comes with some kind of backstory, or the sixth ranger is evil and fights the other rangers and stuff like that. But that's what Digimon Adventure 2 basically is.
Hang on one
Because
second. One second.
no worries.
Did the cat find its way in here? Did the cat find its way in here? No. Gotcha, Mama. Did you find your way in here?
Gotta love those cat problems.
Gotcha, Mama. Gotcha, Mama. Where are you? Gotcha, Mama. Come here. Come on. Come on, Dave. Come on. Odin. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Sorry, folks, if you're listening. That was I had to go.
It's like, okay, time to get comfy again.
Okay. Dip down animes in the chat. What's going on, man? You've got 99 cats and they all have problems.
I was about to say, and not one has a problem.
But okay, so you were talking about before I was so rudely interrupted by my dog being on alert by something. We were talking about Digimon Adventure 2, and Casey was comparing some of the things to the 6 Power Ranger sort of scenario, and I think that's how you're coming up to Ken, right?
Exactly, because Ken is basically the 6th Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
He is somebody that was manipulated, controlled by evil, dealing with the whole depressive bullshit, and wanting to be accepted by the team, but he's not accepting himself, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then once he is accepted, there's still that whole drama between it, till eventually he does become part of the team, and they figure out DNA digivolutions.
The DNA digivolving, yeah.
Yes. Which, by the way, question here. Why is Patamon usually the last to digivolve?
Because he's too broken, dude. Dude, Patamon is just too broken. They like I think I even made a post about this on my Instagram about a week or so ago. Was that like that digivolution evolution line, like it's so broken that like the writers only let Angemon come out maybe like 6 to 8 times, while all the other ones were digivolving every episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then Magna Angemon only like
once
or twice. It's like you can count it, like maybe you count like you can count it as twice or count it as one, however you want. Like it was like he digivolved during the fight with Piedmon and stayed as Magna Angemon right as Apocalypse came out, and then Apocalypse digivolved everybody. And then they all came back and then they re-digivolved for an entire episode.
Mm-hmm. But it's also the same in Digimon Adventure 2. I don't remember when they get the Digi Egg of Hope.
Yeah, that was...
I know him and Gatomon basically got it at the same time. Mm-hmm. But I'm also thinking, like, when they're DNA digivolving, Armadillomon and Patamon are the last ones. Because there was, like, this whole joke about it.
It's too broken. Just too broken. And then of course you don't see like the mega evolution, right, until you can either call it Digimon the movie or Digimon Hurricane Touchdown, whichever one you want to call it. Then you see the mega version of that in that one. Then you see the mega version of it again, like towards the end of Digimon Adventure Tri. Mm-hmm. And then you don't ever see it again.
And speaking of which, you never see the mega evolution of Gatomon, do you?
No, you do in Hurricane Touchdown or however you want to put it. Either so Hurricane Touchdown is like the Davis, Yoli, and Cody version of Digimon the movie.
Mm. And she becomes the giant dragon thing.
Yeah, kind of looking that like the
like Falcor.
Yeah, Falcor, exactly. Yeah. Looks just like Falcor. Yeah. You gotta release the golden Digi-Eggs.
The Falcor Digimon.
Yeah. No. Like so let's see here. Angemon shows up to defeat. Angemon doesn't show up to defeat. Angemon shows up to defeat Devimon. Okay, that's like an episode that's like around like episode 15 or so, give or take. Then you don't see Angemon again right until they officially Like you don't see Anjuman again until Anjuman rescues Kari from Myotismon. That's like that's like that's like a good 20 episodes later. More than that, I think. That's probably it's probably
Wait,
close to 30 episodes later that you don't see
does
Anjuman again.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, does Anjuman like show? I'm trying to go back into like the original Digimon one. Does Anjuman show up during Entomon at all?
No, he does. No, Anjuman does not show up during Edomon at all. Not at all. You don't see him again. As a matter of fact, most of the time during the Edomon arc, it's Tokomon, like the in training version of Patamon.
That's right, because he doesn't have enough energy to digivolve again.
And then and then basically Myotismon has Gatomon and Kari kidnapped, and they're on the top of the TV station, and then that's like when Anjuman shows up again, and then that's when Gatomon digivolves into Anjawomon. So it's easily like 20 to 30 episodes before you see Anjuman again, easily.
All right. And you're gonna have to remind me because it's been a long time since I've watched Digimon. It goes in training, rookie, champion, ultimate, and then mega.
That's correct. Don't forget the baby version. There's baby, in training, rookie, champion, ultimate, mega.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And other than, this might be in the movies that I haven't watched. I do know that for Mega, you have Metal Garurumon.
Yep.
You have War Greymon.
Yep.
Magna Angemon is an ultimate, isn't he?
Yeah, Magna. Yeah. See, that's the reason why there's so much confusion, because Magna Angemon is almost like a mega version, but he's not. He's just broken as an ultimate.
Right.
In the same way with Angemon. Angemon is more like that. It's all broken. Patamon is broken.
That's kind of why, like, I do enjoy Gatomon, because what her form usually is a champion. She looks like a rookie, but she is a champion.
Yeah, Gatomon is a champion. Yeah.
Do we see the mega forms of the original Digidestin in the original series?
In Tri.
In Tri? Okay.
In Digimon Adventure Tri, they all get mega levels.
Okay, but not in the original.
No.
That always pissed me off.
Unless you count Hurricane Touchdown, aka Digimon the movie.
Did they show up in Megas in that one?
Yes, because they use their mega versions to release the golden Digi eggs.
I don't even remember that. Did I watch Digimon Track or Digimon the movie? I know I watched Digimon the movie.
Man, if you've never seen Digimon the movie, man, let me see here.
That one was the one that was split between the first Digidestins and the second, right?
Okay. Patamon, Mega Evolution, Digimon the movie. There you see here images. Let me see if I can bring. Are they seriously not going to show me? Let me see here. What is this Digimon called? It's called.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I actually watched this movie.
You've never seen Digimon the movie?
I feel like I have. I mean, I even have the album for it. Like, I remember the gold.
Dude, the album for Digimon the movie was the best. I don't even know if I still have that. Do I still have that?
Oh, I know for a fact I still have that.
Hang on. Talk to the audience. Just keep rambling. Let me
I mean, like, by the way, if you guys have watched it, it is a really good movie. It took me a while to actually enjoy the animation because it's so different from what normal animation they use for Digimon, but it's actually a really good movie. I'm just trying to remember because I do know that I have seen it. I am looking at like the very beginning of it. But then as I'm looking at like these mega evolutions, I'm honestly kind of like surprised by it that I don't remember it at all. Okay, so we do have Rosemon and Vikingmon, and this is just weird trying to look at it. Oh my goodness. And by the way, for you guys, if you don't have the album to Digimon the movie, they have really good songs. I mean, I believe they also have All Star on that from Smash Mouth, which is, of course, any movie during that time needs to have All Star. Look at Shrek. But then you also have see, now I can't even remember some of them. You have the original Digirap and like a second version of the Digirap, which is honestly really awesome in my opinion.
Come on. Come in your crate. Come on. Come. Lay down. Put in. Thank you.
Oh boy. See, I'm looking at pictures of it. Oh wow. You got one of those CD collector things. CD books?
My high school CD book. Let's see here.
So I am looking, and some of it does seem familiar. Like I somewhat remember Vikingmon, but I don't remember Rosemon being in there.
I'm not familiar with any of those names. Oh, come on.
Rosemon is the mega evolution of Palmon. And Vikingmon is the mega evolution of Joe's Digimon. The really dumb one. Sorry.
No, what are you talking about, dude? Gomamon is the goat. What are you talking about?
Gomamon was just
dumb. He's not
Gomamon
dumb.
was just there for Jester. I mean, come on. Mochi fishes. What kind of attack is Mochi fishes?
Gomamon is the perfect like mesh for Joe.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I mean, what do I constantly say about Digimon? Digimon is literally just psychiatric help for the Digidestins. Because they all have a problem, and their Digimon is basically the exact opposite and helps them through their problem. And by helping them through the problem, that's how the Digimon gets stronger. And if they don't do it in a healthy fashion, then the Digimon evolves into their virus type. For example, Agumon Digivolving into Skull Greymon.
Oh man, it's not in here. No. I don't even have a burned version of it in here. That's a bummer. I know that I had it. I had it at one point. This breaks my heart. I'm gonna have to find it on eBay. I'm gonna have to find it on eBay the way that I found the Pokemon the first movie soundtrack.
So in Digimon the movie, the whole thing is the virus, right? The virus that was in the computers, and Matt and TK had to go into the computer itself.
Yeah.
Right?
So the first chunk of Digimon the movie is
about the original Digidestins.
It's about it. I think it's more or less the same than the Japanese version of it, but with Davis sprinkled in.
Mm-hmm. Like he's there to witness some of it. And
yeah.
In fact, you see the other Digidestins like watching their final battle.
Yeah, and then I think he gets his I don't remember. Oh, man, this is why I really want to watch it again. But then what happens is in the Our War Game section, of the movie where they're in the internet, right? So
where they
that
become
was so
Omnimon.
basically what he was trying to do was he was trying to Davis messed up. He tried to heal or clone he tried to heal or clone his Digimon or like make them stronger. And he messed up creating Diaboromon, which is what they were fighting in the internet. And so it created like this virus, this like computer virus Digimon thing. And then they defeat it, but that virus survives and affects one of Davis's twin Pokemon, Digimon.
Wait, Davis has twin Digimon?
Davis has twin Digimon, yeah.
See, I do not remember that at all. I remember them going into the computer. I remember Omnimon.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the second Destin watching and, cheering them on as they're watching this stuff on their computers. And I remember, I think it was Davis and Ken riding, what's his name? The friendship Digi-Egg with Vmon. And they were riding with him across the field. After that, I have no memory about it. And I only remember that because of the music that was playing. The da 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 da.
Yeah.
Here we go. Da 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 da.
Dude, the Digimon soundtrack, man. Fuck yeah. So here are those mega levels that as you see them in the movie.
Well, I'm trying to remember what their names are.
So this is Seraphimon, which is.
I thought it was Seraphimon. I thought Seraphimon was the one with
Falcor?
No. The one that was Armadillomon and Patamon together.
That is, oh god.
There's too many names. Too many names.
Right? What was Armadillomon's DNA? Armadillomon DNA Digivolve. Shakuamon.
That's right. And his name is Inklamon.
No, it's Shakuamon.
Oh, no. Inklamon is Armadillomon's champion.
That's champion. Yeah, Armadillomon's champion version. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. And then of course, like the DNA Digivolved characters. Okay, so we're gonna stay on the topic of Digimon. All right. Is Hawkmon male or female?
I thought that Hawkmon was male.
I don't think anybody knows. I don't think anybody knows if Hawkmon's male or female.
I could have sworn he's male because when he digivolves into Shinobumon.
No, it's let me see here. Hawkmon.
Oh no, he digivolves into Aquilamon.
Yeah, Aquilamon.
Garudamon, Silphymon, which is where are his Digi-Egg transformations? Because that's where I was going with.
Folks, if you're tuning in, we're talking about Digimon because we're nerds.
Heck yeah, we are.
But you know it's funny, you don't ever see the mega evolutions of the O2 squad. You don't. You only ever see the mega evolutions of the O1 squad.
I think that they were basically making the DNA digivolutions into their megas.
Yeah.
Because I still don't know if there's like a mega version of Veedramon.
Of who?
Vidramon.
Who's Vidramon?
Davis's Digimon.
Oh, you mean Vmon?
Vmon, sorry. Vidramon is his Digivolution. Yeah, I meant Vmon.
It's X Vmon is his champion.
Oh, maybe Vidramon is his ultimate then. There is a Vidramon.
I don't recall that. I feel like I would remember. I feel like I would remember Vmon's ultimate form.
Well, I'm also basing this off of Digimon games that I've played.
Okay. I guess that would count.
Let me see here. Okay, they're not. Oh, Shurimon. That's who I was thinking of, not Shinobumon. Shurimon.
Oh yeah, the ninja Digimon.
Right, the samurai.
Yeah,
and that's
the samurai of sincerity.
I guess that's why I always thought that he was male, because most of his Digivolutions were either gender neutral or they seem to have a male lean.
So the argument that I see online, it's somewhat of a weak argument, but it is an argument nonetheless. Is that there's an episode, and I actually watched this episode a couple of hours ago. It was an episode where they're in sort of a Wild West town, and most of the Digidestin have been captured by a Digimon with the dark ring, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's the females that are there are Sora, Biyomon, Yoli, and then of course, so this leads the argument leads into Hawkmon being female, because Deputymon comes in and goes, I want all of the women to come with me to play cards. I don't want men to play cards because men cheat at cards. And Hawkmon accompanies them. But Hawkmon could have just slipped out and just been, I'm female, But
I think he does actually say that he is female.
Does he say that? Like,
I'm looking up here. In the English version of The Good, the Bad, and the Digi, Hawkmon claims he is female, although most other sources claim it is male.
Yeah, that's the episode that I watched earlier.
Yeah.
But now it's not unheard of in anime for men to voice females and females to voice men. So and all of Hawkmon's Digivolutions are, including Hawkmon themselves, whatever. All voiced by men.
Well, let me go ahead and continue with my own conspiracy theory about the whole psychological effects, and the Digimon represent different psychological issues with the Digidestin. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If we look at Yoli is definitely a tomboy.
Okay.
Even especially you can think about it, when she goes into the Digi world, what kind of outfit does she get?
Sort of like, yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but it's definitely
it's sort of like an adventures, adventuring sort of plane pilot kind of look, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible that if the Digimon represent the opposite, or represent the healthy psychological things that the Digidestined are needing to become, maybe Yoli is a lesbian?
She marries Ken.
Okay, but I mean, come on, look at Ken. He's very feminine.
I believe that's how it's depicted. I believe that's how it's depicted in the epilogue of Digimon Adventure 2. That Ken and Yoli are married.
I don't know. Now I have to check. Yes, they are married with children.
Yeah.
And Ken and Stingmon are detectives, but Yoli says he can't detect when it's his turn to do the dishes.
Ah, zing. Dude, you need to watch you need to watch you need to rewatch all of it for one.
I definitely do. It's been a long time since I've watched this stuff.
And then you need to watch you'll need to watch Try. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you'll need to watch Last Evolution Kizuna, that's what it's called here. And then you'll have to watch Digimon Adventure 2, the beginning. And so that way you're kind of all caught up. Now, I think they're playing the folks over at Toy Animation I think they're playing with fire a little bit in regards to how they're going to lead up to the epilogue of Digimon Adventure 2. But because there's a lot of things that have happened, there's a lot of things that have happened that puts its canon status into question. But the folks over at Toy have insisted that the epilogue of Digimon Adventure 2 is still canon, and that Try, Last Evolution Kizuna, and the beginning are all leading up to that.
So when you're saying canon, Digimon Adventure 1, Digimon Adventure 2, and the movies that you were just talking about, those are all in a separate universe from the other Digimon?
Yeah, so like, yeah, the adventure universe is different from Tamer. I believe it's different than Tamer's.
Frontier, Cross Wars.
The Digimon Adventure universe is its own thing, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, because that was always something that I felt was weird. Oh, and by the way, just to kind of go with my whole Six Ranger thing, in Digimon Frontier, you literally have the Six Ranger arc, where you have the guy that's the Dark Lion. And he's the same thing as the other Digidestined. And you come to find out that he's actually the twin of one of the Digidestined, but he got sucked into the dark universe and became evil, and they had to rescue him. So, Six Ranger bullshit.
So everyone, like, I see so many mixed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm watching Digimon Adventure 1, I'm watching Digimon Adventure 2, and then I'm gonna rewatch Try, Kizuna, in the beginning, just so that way I'm kind of all freshened up. But then I'm gonna move on to Tamers. I'm gonna rewatch Tamers. I think I'm mature enough to handle Tamers now.
Oh God,
I wasn't into it as a kid. I had grown attached to the Adventure Squad, and when they changed it up to be separate, I was like, whatever. So I'm gonna watch Tamers, and then I'm gonna watch Frontier. I did start a little bit of Frontier, but I'm gonna transition back to Tamers. Mostly because, like, and then of course I watch Frontier because apparently Frontier is the most like divisive from what it seems.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely the biggest change out of literally all the Digimon, because you don't have the partner status.
Right. They transform.
Yeah. They become Power Rangers.
Yeah, they become Power Rangers.
And you know me, I love Tamer. That's actually one of my favorite Digimon. Like, I love Digimon Adventure 2. I do really love Digimon Adventure 1. But I also really like Tamers because the stories in it are just so depressing. Like, you have the little girl with Leomon and her going through her depressive bullshit where she, like, is non-existent throughout like half the show. And then just learning about Impmon and kind of drawing a parallel between Impmon and Gatomon is amazing. Because actually thinking about it, in Tamers, Impmon is basically the Sixth Ranger.
Let's see. So
but he's more of a vigilante than anything.
So I've got the first season on Blu-ray. I got the second season on Blu-ray. I've got Try on Blu-ray. Try is weird. I like Try, but Try is weird.
It is definitely a different way of seeing it.
And then I have Last Evolution Kizuna. This one's sad.
I don't think I'd watch that one.
You would know if you did. And then of course I've got this one. The newest one from last year.
Now see, I always wondered if they took place in different universes, because at the end of Digimon Adventure 2, you have the kids going all across the earth, rounding up all the different Digidestins around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, everybody just forgets about the Digimon.
Yeah. So Digimon Tamers takes place in a world where the show and the cards exist.
Yeah. Kind of based off of the Digimon World video game.
Right.
Where it's Tamagotchi stuff.
I don't know where Frontier fits in everything. It could be its own universe.
I think so, because don't they also go to the digital worlds through Trainmon or whatever he's called?
Yeah. Since Digimon is multiverse, anything they put out is canon. Things might be of different universes, but as long as they are part of the franchise, it's canon. That's such a non-answer. like that is a non-answer. That's kind of like saying that like the MCU and the Fox X-Men movies are canon because they're from separate universes.
Except that they are already proving that.
Isn't that what they're going to do with Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yep. In fact, there was another trailer that just came out where you see Wolverine and Deadpool go up against the original Sabretooth from the original X-Men movie.
Wait, really? Not the one from X-Men Origins Wolverine?
No, not the one from X-Men Origins Wolverine. Like the Wolverine that had the long hair and everything.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying don't say it, because that's literally what they're doing right now. In fact, remember who was Professor Xavier in the Doctor Strange movie?
I never saw Multiverse of Madness.
Oh,
I have.
Okay, see, if you watched it, you would know. Patrick Stewart comes back to play Xavier in Multiverse of Madness. And when he comes onto the stage, when you see him, they actually play the 80s music of the original X-Men cartoon.
Oh, okay. So dip down. I don't know if you're still in chat, but are you asking about how Digimon the movie fits into the canon? Digimon the movie is interesting. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Casey.
No worries.
So Digimon the movie is interesting because I guess you could say the movie is canon to the dude, Digimon the movie is so good. It's awesome. It's great. I don't have that one yet, but it's apparently going to get released sometime this year on Blu-ray. But
you missed it. Dip down. He was trying to find his album for it.
I know. I still have yeah. I don't know where my soundtrack is, but Digimon the first movie is interesting. So what Fox Kids did back in 2001 was they took three existing Digimon movies that are separate, more or less. They took there was Digimon Adventure, the movie. There was Digimon Our War Game movie, and then there was Digimon Hurricane Touchdown. And then what Fox Kids did was they took all three of those movies, smashed them together, and then rewrote the English dialogue to make it one cohesive film that where the plot takes place over the course of, I don't know, I think it would be 10 years or so. Um, but did you, when in reality, those three movies are very much separate, and have their own plots. And I think that one thing that I'm really looking forward to is that when these movies are finally released, because they are getting English dubs sometime this year, it's going to come together in a. It's my understanding that the publisher is that they're going to release it as a Digimon the movie package. So it's going to include Digimon the movie, which is the movie that was released in 2001, and then they're going to release. Then as part of this package, probably all on the same disc or on two different discs, there's going to be the movies will then be separated in how they were originally supposed to be. So Digimon Adventure, Digimon Our War Game, and Digimon Hurricane Touchdown. And so the Digimon movie, I think, was maybe roughly 90 minutes or so. Whereas these three movies are probably closer to about 40 minutes, which means that there's probably going to be like 20 to 30 minutes of like footage that I've never seen before, or anybody outside of Japan has ever seen before. So I kind of just rambled on, but no, the Digimon movie, in my opinion, is an underrated masterpiece of what you can do with like completely altering the original story through English dubbing. like um so because that's what they did. They took three movies that are completely separate and then rewrote the dialogue to where they made it all linked together, and it was amazing. So good. I love Digimon the movie.
At least they didn't, share a glass of frothy water. All right. At least they didn't do that.
So okay, I've been paying attention. While watching Digimon Adventure 1 and 2, I've been paying attention to instances of like, is this a scene that has been changed due to like westernization, right? Mm-hmm. Localization. So there is the infamous scene in Digimon Adventure 1 where they're trying to get a ride. So in Digimon Adventure 1, in the dub, they stumble upon Sora's cousin, and they get a ride from Sora's cousin. But in the original Japanese version, they just get this like teenager dude just is like, "Oh, you're a bunch of cute girls, get in." All the other dudes just shut up. So they get into a car with a random strange teenager. And then of course there's an instance while they're trying to get back to the real world in Myotismon's lair, and this one Digimon, he's like, "Oh, I'm really thirsty, so I want some juice." And like they start pumping him full of this juice to put him to sleep. And in reality, it's probably this Digimon probably chugs like 20 beers.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
No. It's a frothy barrel of water. Okay, get it right.
But no, like in the scene, his body turns red, and that's beer. That's not juice. Juice doesn't make your body turn red. When
Actually,
I drink
probably
alcohol,
more like sake.
when I drink, it probably was. Maybe it was sake that he was drinking. But like when I drink beer, my pale face goes from bleach white to a
Cherry tomato.
to very very red. Um, uh, and so and then there was then of course the episode today where Hawkmon's like gender is in question. It was like the Wild West thing. One Digimon is like, "Hey, you want a big old glass? You want a glass of milk?" And it's like they look like beer mugs with like, so like, well, is this beer, or is this supposed to be beer, or is this actually milk? It's probably not milk. It's probably something else. But man, like, and then some of the other things that I'm noticing too is like, man, I'm listening to it and I'm like listening to it, and it's like all of a sudden it'll be the cheesiest one-liner you'll ever fucking hear is like, and I was just like, it's like, did they just need to fill in a random line here with just some of the, just like the cheesiest, like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just like, it's almost like they tried really hard to make certain instances into dad jokes.
It probably did. Honestly, I do wonder like how dark and serious the actual anime is, knowing other animes. Like, it looks cute and cuddly, but considering what some of the whole values are, and the bullshit that the Digidestins go through, like I could see it being a lot more serious than what was westernly made into.
So I'm disappointed. So this is strictly the English version that I have. Everything that I have here is strictly the English versions. I do think so. I think Try comes with the Japanese version. I think Last Evolution Kizuna comes with the Japanese version, and so does the beginning Japanese. But what's a bummer is that I would have to buy, if I wanted to get the Japanese versions of Adventures 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, I'd have to buy them separately, which is kind of a bummer. Which I might do though. I might actually do that. I'm very curious. I am very curious now to see.
It's also kind of interesting watching like the shows and remembering the shows, I should say, because I haven't watched them in a long time. Like remembering the shows and then also playing the Digimon World games. As I said, I'm a huge fan of the Digimon World games.
Right.
And it's interesting to see like the same kind of aspects continuously being used, but in different ways. In the current, I mean, it might not be current anymore, but in Digimon World, what is it called? Basically, you go back to the original Digimon World from the very first Digimon World game. In fact, you actually do meet the main character from that game in this one. And there are two other Digimon or Digidestined in there. One of them is, the hero boy, the one that wants to help, but he keeps failing, and eventually his Digimon does an evil Digivolution kind of thing.
Oh no.
And you have to help them. And then there's a girl who's too protective, like on the opposite end, and her Digimon digivolves.
Okay.
Into like an evil thing because of that. And I guess that's also where I got my whole psychological issue, because they do state in the game that the feelings of the Digidestin are what helps the Digivolution and what kind of directs the Digivolution chain. But I do just love those. Even like the other ones, like Digimon's Cyber Sleuths and all that. Like, they have such good storylines. I'm sorry. That's one of my favorite things about it. They have such good storylines to them.
It's too bad those are like, I wish that they weren't all like in Japanese though.
Yeah. I do believe the newest one, or the one I was talking about where you go back to the original games world, I do believe that one has English voice.
Right.
I have to double check on that now.
Cyber Sleuth has been the one that I've always been kind of like hoping would eventually get an English dub. I'm also hoping that Ghost Stories, Digimon Ghost Stories, or what is it? What is it actually? Digimon Ghost.
Oh! You're talking about the one that I was telling you where
Ghost Game.
It was Ghost Game. There we go. Yeah, that one is a really good series. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that like it's finally concluded. The run finally ended last year, so I'm hoping, it'd be nice if like eventually they do eventually dub it. Let's see your English dub.
Digimon World Next Order. That one is dubbed.
Anyway. God, I love Digimon. I don't care. It's like it sucks that like when it came out, it was so overshadowed by Pokemon that nobody really like gave it much thought. But I did. Thank you, Fox Kids. Thanks you, Fox Kid. Like that's because I think it helped because I watched Fox Kids. To get into that, I wasn't, Pokemon and like Yu-Gi-Oh, they were on WB, I think, and at this time, One Piece I think was still on WB. It wasn't dubbed by Funimation until I think 2002 or something, maybe later. Maybe
no. I don't think One Piece was on WB. I thought it was on JetX.
The original One Piece dub?
I think so, maybe. Let me see here. On Fox Network, looks like. It was part of the Fox Box.
The fuck was Foxbox? I've never heard of Foxbox. I'm seeing that here though.
It was just a random programming block on it. Like I think it was during the week before school ended. Maybe.
The English dub of One Piece first aired in the United States on Fox's Fox Block TV programming block.
Oh, it was a 4Kids TV programming.
I knew that the dub was produced by 4Kids, but I didn't know what network it was on.
Yeah, no. 4Kids used to be known as Fox Box when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
That's where we first got the Kirby show. The Kirby show, the show Cubix with that robot that was made of cubes and stuff like that, and as well as the 2000 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. Which I freaking love that series.
Oh yeah, look at this. Okay.
I think it's also the one where Sonic the Hedgehog came into our world.
Okay, and this is what Yu-Gi-Oh was on as well.
Yu-Gi-Oh was.
I thought Yu-Gi-Oh was WB.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was WB Kids or Kids WB. I think on Kids WB it was.
It looks like
Pokemon.
It looks like it then transferred to the 4Kids TV.
I think so, probably.
That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, no, Foxbox was original. Oh wait, Yu-Gi-Oh got transferred to Fox Kids TV
because it shows on the Yu-Gi-Oh anime Wikipedia page. It shows networks as Kids WB and then Fox 4Kids TV.
Oh, that is possible. I mean, I do remember it being because I remember the Kids WB bumpers and Yu-Gi-Oh being part of it.
Let's see here. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was one that I just kind of stopped paying attention to 25 years ago.
After the Dual Island arc, it just got ridiculous to me. I mean,
well,
after he fought Pegasus, and I saw Pegasus Tomb deck, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I saw my favorite deck. I'm not going any further.
I remember. So my parents didn't particularly care what I watched, right? Well, to some degree, but like they normally they wouldn't. I guess you could say they didn't question what I watched. But I remember one morning I was sitting there and I remember I was sitting there. I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh, and and I've not once had I ever heard any of my parents like bring up any of the cartoons that I had ever watched. But my stepdad at the time was just like, it sounds like this show is just designed to teach you how to play the card game. And and, and that sort of ruined the show for me right then and there, because even though I was probably like 11 or 12 years old, all of a sudden this sort of like this like glass shattered in my head, and I was like, oh my god, Yu-Gi-Oh is literally one big giant advertisement for like the card game. And like don't get me wrong, most kids television shows back then were designed to sell toys. Don't get me wrong. They were designed to sell toys, but at least with some of the other anime at the time, like Digimon, Pokemon, and even Pokemon, like there were legit stories happening in those. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, it was just a card game happening every episode. Pretty much.
There's two things that is hilarious about that. Number one, the original manga of Yu-Gi-Oh! Holy crap, it's so much darker.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Like literally, in like the anime where they say like, we're sending you to the shadow realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, they die in the manga. Like you
lose this card game, you die.
Pretty much. Like the first thing is that before it was, the card game Duel Monsters, they played other types of games. And Yuki's shadow self was known as the king of games. And like the first chapter is him playing like I believe it was like a hopscotch kind of game with person. And he lights him on fire. Yeah, so it's like, no, it is pretty freaking dark kind of shit. The second thing is, it just sounds like it's teaching you how to play the game. That is not how you play freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, even the strategies that they use on the show are nothing when it comes to the actual game.
I tried. I've said this over and over again. When I was a kid, I tried Yu-Gi-Oh. I tried whatever was hot and popping at the time. I tried it. Pokemon, I tried it. I tried playing that card game. To this day, I'm convinced that if anybody ever comes up to me and says, I know how to play the Pokemon trading card game, I'm going to call them a fucking liar.
That is a really complicated game to play.
I have never once ever seen anybody play a Pokemon trading card game. Not once have I ever seen, tournaments for Pokemon the trading card game. Not once. And like, I just remember it's like, this game does not make sense. It doesn't. How could any 10 or 11-year-old understand how to play this game? Like, what is going on here? And then of course I moved on to Yu-Gi-Oh! When Yu-Gi-Oh! Got popular. Once again, and I think now I was probably maybe 11 or 12 at this time. It's like, how is an 11 or 12-year-old supposed to understand how to play this game? How? Tell me how.
They
But
don't.
you want to know the trading card game that I actually got really good at and I understood how to play it?
Magic the Gathering.
No, Magic the Gathering. I was introduced to Magic the Gathering by you and Ian. Like, no,
Texas Hold'em.
it was the Dragon Ball Z trading card game from the early 2000s.
Oh God, was there one?
There was one, and it was spectacular. It was so good. It was very straightforward. You had you had like your character cards, so like you could have like you'd have your main character, it'd either be Goku or Piccolo or whatever, and like they would come, basically the character cards, they would have a couple of different transformations, just as the television show had. And if you level, if you raised their if you raise their power up enough, then they can transition to the next level. And then each level had different abilities that you can use during certain points in combat, during certain times in combat. So, but then in your deck you had cards that raised your power level. You had cards that lowered your opponent's power level, and then you had cards that destroyed the deck. And then of course, once your deck is destroyed, you're out. So physical attacks reduced power level, energy attacks destroyed your deck. And then I forgot what kind of cards were used to raise your power level. But it was very self-explanatory. It was super self-explanatory. It was easy. At least my understanding of it was. Perhaps it was a bit more complicated than I laid it out to be. But it was good. I had a lot of fun with it, and I still have those cards. They're in California somewhere. They're at the lab.
I see. I never even knew about the Dragon Ball Z one. I did know that Digimon had a card game too.
Let me see if I can find any cards. Dragon Ball Z trading card game. Okay, let me see if I can bring up any pictures of the original trading card game. Let's try 2000s. Let's try that. Okay, all right, let's see here. Share screen. Okay, so yeah, so can you see that?
Yes.
So physical attack, striking out for 5 stages of physical damage on a selected foe. Here are some of the, I don't recognize this one, but here's some of the character cards. Let me see if I can find maybe I can find Super Saiyan Goku.
Was that a Namekian Goku?
I don't remember. Let me see here. So this was the original Super Saiyan Goku card from the Frieza Saga series of cards. This was an ultra rare card. It was the I don't know if you can see this, but the rarity of the card was based off of the Dragon Ball number. So like so a 1-star card would be super common, right? A 3-star would be uncommon. 2-star were promo cards. 4 stars were standard character cards. So I think so see here, so 4-star was a standard character card. A 5-star was rare. A 5-star was rare. A 6-star was ultra rare, and then I can't remember what the 7-star one was, but like those might have been fusion forms or something. So like, for example, I think Gotenks, because I actually have a Gotenks card. I bought it individually. Let me see here. So I have this Gotenks card, and it is a 7-star. I don't don't even think I have this. Yeah, so I have. I don't know. I might have both of these. But I know for sure that I have this one. Um. So, uh, by the way, I know that people who are listening, it probably sounds weird, but yeah, we're looking at Dragon Ball Z trading cards from the early 2000s. We were looking at some examples of character cards such as the Super Saiyan, such as the Super Saiyan Goku, um, and then of course like these Gotenks cards that I'm looking at. But no, it was a relatively easy game to understand. At least like that's my perception of it, was that it was a relatively easy game to understand, and I loved it. I still have a whole bunch of those cards. If I ever the next time in California, actually my mom's in California. She drove to California. I'm going to see if she can find those cards and bring them back, so that way I have them here. um because those are some like OG cards. I wonder if like I wonder if some of those cards are worth anything. Dragon Ball Z trading card game, 1999. Let's see, eBay. They're not worth anything. Darn it! But they're cool. They're cool. They're cool pieces of cardboard now. Um, yeah, I'm bummed that they have a new trading card game of it, and I don't think I fully understand this one, but like I don't know why. Like it's a bummer that they dropped that original series, because it was a relatively easy card. It was a relatively easy game to understand.
See, that's why they dropped it, because it was too easy to understand.
I know, right? I know, right? Anyway, final thoughts.
Horror is good. Digimon is better. Trading card games are complicated.
Amen, brother. Amen. Well, everyone, that about does it. Thank you, those who have stopped by. Really appreciate it. It was fun to come back to the podcast. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, it is our intention to do the shows on Saturdays. I don't know we don't know right now what our sort of like how many weeks on to how many weeks off we'll do, but we will want to take breaks from doing the show. And then on Sundays, Casey and we stream Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I need to double check on that card deck to beat Chadley. So that way we can do that tomorrow night. Yeah, that's it for me. Anything else from you, Casey?
No, I mean you pretty much got it, and it'll be because we're going to be doing, what's it called, Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, we're doing Queen's Gambit.
So I'm guessing that's going to be like most of the stream.
No, we only have like a couple more opponents. We should be done with it in the first. If I don't have any problems, we should be done with it in the first like 30 minutes or so. Yeah. That's something that Square Enix needs to capitalize on. They need to capitalize on like a mobile game for Queen's Gambit. They really do. They need to capitalize on a mobile game for Queen's Gambit, or make a legit like trading card game. That would be fun. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. Dip down if you're still in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Casey, was good chatting with you as always.
Of course.
We'll be back tomorrow for the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Sounds good.
All right.
Be happy, humans.
Good night, everyone.